You're now listening to the Z-Listers podcast with Brady, Neil, and AJP.
If it's bad, it's just your fault. That's it.
That's never been a problem for me.
Okay.
I'm saying, like, I've never cared. If it's bad, it's my fault.
Oh, I know.
I don't give them another, right?
That's why you're unemployed. The reason I brought up the beat the clock thing is because this episode is beat the battery. Only got one battery, and it's at like 60%.
Cool.
So it's going to be as long as the battery can record.
Okay, cool.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
This is the earliest I think we've ever recorded a podcast.
Yeah. This episode is sponsored by Wawa, giving you inconsistent fucking coffee since whenever Wawa was created. Every Wawa I go to, even the same Wawa, different hours, different days, never know what you're going to get. Make the fucking recipe, please.
This is why people don't, they try to shoot down my argument that drinking Red Bull, I'm not saying is better, but you know it's going to be consistent. Even, I've had people that even go to Starbucks, get a drink, and then complain Starbucks to Starbucks.
Yeah.
That it's not right.
Yeah.
Or, oh, it's burnt. Hey, you know it'll never be burnt?
Hey.
Oh, this coffee's bitter today. Oh, no, this is not the Columbia blend I was looking for. They're out of French vanilla? It's always the same.
Hey, Wawa. Wawa employees, take a tip from Duncan. Fucking mix the shit at the bottom. If you're giving me a cool drink with syrup at the bottom, mix it. Not that hard. Duncan's very good at it. You guys should learn a lesson. I'm really sorry. This isn't me.
How much was that?
Over
like, $5?
Maybe yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's crazy. I told you I sent you a picture of a turkey sandwich that was like $7.99.
From Wawa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was good, but it was this big. The mouse was bigger.
Yeah.
The mouse was bigger than my turkey
Was it
sandwich.
the Spicy Turkey Club?
No.
That's my go-to.
I don't let the screen tell me what I'm gonna get. I'm not. I'll take it. Fuck you. I won't take it because I'm gonna get it the way I want it. If I'm paying, if I'm paying any money for anything, I'm getting it the way I want it.
Everything's a fucking battle with you people.
You came in here making up arguments in your head that never happened.
That's not true. They have happened. They just haven't happened recently.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk about it because I don't want people to dislike me.
Okay. It was very racial.
Was not at all.
Okay.
You fucking asshole.
Okay.
Had nothing to do with race.
I was thinking about this yesterday.
Is that okay?
I know it's never okay when you do it.
What?
People, you ever
I'm an ally.
Have you heard people say they want to like be back on the barter system?
No.
Okay, I've seen this like on Facebook. People will post about it.
Anti-capitalism?
Yes, I guess.
Okay.
But if you really think about it, we still are on it. You just don't, not you, the proverbial you.
Yeah.
That you don't have anything they want in this moment.
Right.
We've never left it.
Right, you can still barter with people. You just have to have something of value.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it. If I had, because I got fast food yesterday, right? Mm. And the total was like whatever. And this is what made me think about it. Because I had cash, but not enough, so I used a card, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I had
a really sexy mouth.
Dude, that's crazy. That's insane.
That's where my brain goes.
You bring my bits to a screeching halt. If I had like an ounce of gold,
yeah,
there's no way that they would turn it down. They'd be stupid not to. If I only had an ounce of gold and didn't want change, I was like, this is all I have and I want this food.
Yeah.
They would be, any fast food, any restaurant would be stupid not to take the gold.
That's the thing. I think you're overestimating the intellect of like, not saying if you work at fast food that you're automatically stupid, but like the average person anywhere, not just in fast food, but average person in the world is quite stupid. It's like that George Carlin bit, like, you know, imagine the average person, how stupid they are, and then imagine like half the people are even stupider than them or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like, does the average person understand how much an ounce of gold is worth? How much is I don't even know.
$2,300.
Jesus Christ.
As of today, the 17th.
And how much do you think 17th. An ounce of gold is? Like that big?
Wait, no, way smaller than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Geez, gold. Look at you, gold.
I used
being
to
all
watch.
expensive.
What was that show? What was that show? The Alaskan Gold Rush. Is that what it was called?
Sure.
I
I was
used to
gonna say Antiques Roadshow.
Oh no. Okay, 1 ounce gold coin. Okay, I guess it depends on how the gold is,
Yeah.
because I thought it'd be really small. I guess that's 1 ounce of gold.
Okay.
But I thought it was small. What was that? Oh man, what was the name of that show? It was on Discovery. Discovery.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Alaskan Gold Rush. Ice Road Truckers.
That was a good show.
Deadliest Catch.
Discovery Gold Show. Gold Rush, Alaska, I guess.
Cool.
But these guys would be on these big ass machines. The sun would be setting, winter's coming, and they'd have like a little vial with like that much, and they would be fucking jumping around.
Yeah.
And like they'd talk about their equipment, and their equipment was like millions of dollars. Porcupine Creek. I remember the announcer, the voiceover guy, always used to say Porcupine Creek. But there's no way if I just showed up to a McDonald's with this, and I said, I want 1 Big Mac here. Even if you now have to go somewhere to convert it to American dollars,
Yeah.
it's still worth it
Yeah.
to give me 1 large number 1.
Well, another thing is, I feel like we're going to talk about that shirt in a second. But another thing is, like, what if you try and give it to them and they're like, nah, that shit's fake. You know, you got to
Sure.
think about that too. They're like, what if
They're taking a risk on me. I get
yeah,
it.
switch roles. If you were them, you'd be like, man, that shit, get that shit out of here. Give me money. That shit's fake.
Okay, let's use a different example. What if I went to Best Buy and I had a brand new, like on a trailer, a brand new car, and I wanted like a new home stereo system?
Yeah.
Your car is obviously brand new.
Yeah.
It's on a trailer. It never touched the road. And I want the stereo. And let's say the stereo system is like 10 grand. Let's say it's
Right.
like a crazy stereo system.
Right.
But it's a brand new Nissan Sentra.
Yeah.
They still win.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They'd be stupid not to take it.
I agree. Or like online, like a lot of times you'll see videos of like women who will order pizzas and not have money to pay for them. And then they'll pay for it with alternative means. So like I see what you're saying. The barter system is alive and well. I think
It's just you need to have
if
something
the internet
people.
is real.
You just need to have something people want.
Yeah, like a pretty mouth.
That's.
What's wrong with that?
Welcome to the Z-Listers podcast. My name is AJP. Next to me today with a hard-on is my co-host Brady
Dirty
Neal.
Dog Brady Neal.
The Dirty Dog. This is Dirty Dog and the Beard. Welcome back. That's our new show.
Yeah.
When we sell this, we sell the rights to our show to some network, and we work for them for a little bit, and
Yeah.
then they replace us with better, more talented people. When we can't use the Z-Listers name anymore,
Aw.
then we start the Dirty Dog and the Beard on 99.1111111.
Limp Biscuit and the Peckerhead. Let's talk about your shirt, bud.
Okay, what's wrong with my shirt?
There's nothing wrong with it. There's a lot right with it. First mic touch of the podcast.
Last week you were really bad. You were just
I actually like your shirt a lot. I'm a big fan of like Hawaiian shirts.
okay.
I think you would call that kind of a Hawaiian. It's like a very like sort of like out there pattern and
Okay.
anyway, but a friend of ours got that for you because she's a listener of the podcast. Shout out.
Jen.
Okay, we can say her name.
Of
Shout
course.
out Jen. What's her address? Dude, I gotta tell you something. You might have to cut it out in a second, but your shirt just reminds me of this.
Okay.
Because it's got cowboys all over it. One of them's like riding a horse.
Sure.
And it reminds me of the cover of Bad Bunny's album, Nadie sabe lo que va a pasar mañana.
Okay.
And excuse my Spanish. But you could cut this out. Maddie and I were packing up my shit at my apartment because we're getting ready to move. And she found one of my yearbooks from like, I guess freshman year of high school, and our friend Jen had written in the. I had like a ton of autographs in my yearbook, and Maddie's going through it, and she's just reading them out, and she gets to one that Jen wrote, and it says like, oh, you were so mean to me, like you always like make fun of me, blah blah blah, because we were like friends and we just say awful shit to each other.
Sure.
And then she said, but
She wrote that in pen?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll get a picture.
I'm going to leave all that in and just cut out what you said. And she's going to listen because she listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hope she remembers what she wrote.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut most of that out. I'm going to cut around it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like when you're making a turkey sandwich. And this is the second time I brought up turkey sandwiches. But like you ever get a little bit of slimy turkey? That's just nasty. But you just cut around it. Or like a fatty piece of chicken. You got to just cut around. But that's kind of what I do when I edit this podcast.
Yeah.
So, you know, you slice it up. You make it look pretty. And then you eat it.
Yay.
I like this shirt. I told her I was going to wear it on the podcast. Here I am
cute.
doing a podcast.
Is it viscose?
I don't know.
Is it rayon?
I don't know. You keep going.
Did you
I
know
have
that's
no
not good for the environment?
What?
Rayon?
Fast fashion?
Yeah, fast fashion. Who cares? We're all dying. Greta was
I can
right.
only do so much. How dare you?
That's Greta.
Yeah. That's what she said, right?
I guess.
You don't remember that when she said that to Trump?
I don't fucking remember.
Come on, man.
I saw a picture of her getting arrested recently on Instagram.
And she's like smiling.
Yeah.
She's always being carried around by police just
Yeah. Not a care in the world.
And you got to really study how they're carrying her because there's so many pictures of her being carried by police.
Yeah.
I like the one where they got her feet and under her arms and she's just loving it. Like she's like, I won.
Cut this out because it's just like bad. It's not really that bad, but it's just like kind of skeevy and I don't like it. But like one of the comments was like sleeper build, like about her.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
I don't know if you remembered when I said when we started this 14 minutes ago, we're racing the battery.
Okay, yeah.
So
Sorry, I won't waste time with little.
No, it's not even that, but you can talk, but just stop saying cut this out and then telling me stuff.
Gotcha.
All right? Your mouth noises are unbelievable. Dude, the other day, Saturday, I got pulled over. And
What?
that's not even the point of the story, but
Not shocking.
it doesn't matter. But why? Like, I just want to know why am I like this, and it has nothing to do with the driving. But like, I can tell you this entire life story of this cop now. His girlfriend's name's. I know where he went to high school. His senior class trip was to Six Flags. I could tell you what 2 departments he worked for before this one. He's born in July. His grandpa's name is. Dude, why do I know all this stuff? I don't want to have to be like this, but I am, and now I know everything about him.
What were you pulled over for? You were speeding, weren't you?
Allegedly didn't stop at a stop sign.
But you could say it on the podcast. Like, you definitely didn't stop.
I stopped. Danielle was with me. I stopped at the stop sign.
Uh-huh.
I told him I did. He said it's on camera. I said, okay. Yeah, but I just don't want to be, I want to be more like people who are really delusional because do you know who Caleb Hammer is?
Nope.
He makes these videos called Financial Audit, and I actually want to get you on this show. I want to submit you for the show because he tries to help people.
Yeah.
And he goes through their finances.
There's
and
no saving me.
I think you'd be the perfect candidate for the show. But I've been watching his show a lot.
Yeah.
And dude, there are some people that are just so delusional. And not even just with money, but just in life, in general. I just feel like people like that live the best lives.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I feel like by me thinking and overthinking, I'm blocking my blessings.
Yeah. Hey,
And
I'm doing great. But.
That's the thing, dude. Today was a great day because it's a really nice day outside. I'm off today and we're here early. I'm going to be home before 1:00. And that's usually the time I'm in bed, stirring around, I don't want to do a podcast because it's right in the middle of the day. I'm going to get home and be able to rest and then still be able to clean and stuff later.
And jerk.
Whoa.
You said
that's gonna go. That's gonna go on the Patreon, maybe. Are you at all worried about future employers now? Because if you Google your name, this probably comes up.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that?
I've thought about it before. I don't know, what am I gonna do? It's out there. I'm going to say, hey, please mind your fucking business and hire me based on my merits, not, don't worry that I have a podcast. It's 2024. We're all allowed to have podcasts.
You gotta expect, if you're hiring people in 2024, you have to expect they're going to have a podcast.
Yeah. And he looks like this. He's a white guy. I've got a podcast.
With very strong opinions.
Yeah.
You have a podcast.
I'm very strong opinions. I'm very universal health care, like, reform the police, blah, blah, blah. You're like, close the borders.
That's not true.
Yeah.
I also this is totally
You think
unrelated.
the election was stolen?
Well, it was. I was thinking about this. I want to when we run for office,
Yeah.
I want to make a law that if you're a cop, you have to live in the town that you work. I don't feel like that's unreasonable, and I feel like if you're against that,
Yeah.
then you're racist.
I know for a fact you've said that to me. I don't know if you've said it on the podcast or not, but I support it.
Like, because it's like you're coming to battle every day if you don't live in the town that you work in. You know what I mean? Because you're not part of that community.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like community policing.
Yeah.
Like in Camden, apparently, like they've really cleaned things up over there because, the police like reach out, get to know people better.
Is that true?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah. And I
I skimmed an article like 3 years ago.
I think the Police Athletic League, like, I don't know how many towns still do it, but I feel like that's like a really good way to have the people of the town meet the police.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have these cops that come in from an hour away in some big house in fucking middle of nowhere, and they come into work, they don't know anybody,
Right.
And if you're against that, then you're part of the problem.
Yeah. Now we're just like basically discussing politics, but like
We were going to get there eventually.
Yeah. It's crazy that like there's not like a neutral like third party that like audits the police like
No, internal. Are you trying to say that internal investigations are not real or skewed? That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's like every news story you see, it's like, oh yeah, like the police, investigated themselves and they found no wrongdoing, or they suspended the guy with pay for like a month or whatever. It's like a fucking joke, Why? And then like if the cop does get fired, he could just move to the next county over.
Yeah, there has to be a registry.
Yeah, it's like it's nuts. And I'm sorry if that makes me like a fucking bleeding heart liberal, but like
I feel like
we need to get rid of bad police.
Out of all the things you could say and do say, that is the most not liberal thing, I think.
Yeah, but like ultra Republicans,
Yeah,
like,
but
you
even-
can't criticize the police at all.
Yeah.
Because they're just like thin blue line. Like, what's so bad about saying like how about this? How about we find a middle ground? Because like there are people who say all cops are bastards or whatever, ACAB, and then there are people who say like thin blue line. They're just like throating the fucking boots, How about a middle ground? How about we criticize the bad officers and we get rid of them and make sure they can't be officers anymore? And like the good officers will compliment and stuff, like,
And it's
why can we not have a middle ground?
and it's the same people who say the thin blue line stuff and won't acknowledge bad police.
Yeah.
Will also let one bad person in another group categorize the whole group.
Right.
Be the description for the whole group.
Right.
You're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But name 5 Pink Floyd songs.
I feel like we've done this.
Yeah, we have. As soon as it left my mouth, I realized that we've done it. And yeah, I'm gonna stop getting everybody's background when they wrong me.
Yeah. And then saying it on a podcast. That sounds crazy.
I'm crazy,
You are.
but I want to be more. I want to live in reality less.
Yeah, well,
That
up the dose.
Well, no, that's the problem. There was on that financial audit show, there was
Yeah.
a girl on there,
Yeah.
and she was like, every one of her accounts was negative. She was maxed out on all her credit cards, and she was a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy of the show, Caleb, he was like, how do you coach people if like your life isn't like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're all over the place? She's like, well, I don't coach them financially. And he's like, no, but like you, like, what is going on? And she seemed really happy. And I know a lot of people that don't live in reality and somehow they get by. So I want to try it because it's fun. I just want to have fun.
I support it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Like you get fired, went to California, come back, weekend home. Next weekend, this weekend coming, where are you going?
Boston.
How?
I don't know.
You're just going with the flow, dude.
Yeah. I'm going to get ice cream.
You probably paid $12 at Wawa for your whole breakfast today.
Something like that. I could actually, I'll look it up on my Apple Wallet.
No, I know you do. You did get paid for that week, and you do have the severance coming. But like,
$9.36.
okay, not terrible.
Yeah.
But did you do that yesterday too?
Yeah. And it was more because I went to like a nicer place.
Oh wow.
It was only $13.62.
But $20 in the last day.
Not
2
great.
days.
That's like a big portion of my net worth.
But wait, your car's paid off, right?
Yeah.
And it's in your name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll always have a home.
Yeah.
That's good, dude.
Um,
I'm happy for you, man.
Speaking of yesterday, thank you. Yesterday I went to this little coffee shop, and I worked outside. I did work for
I
like,
love that. And you did, but
yeah,
it's still
thank you.
funny.
Thank you. I'm taking these online courses to learn programming, and I was just
Hashtag learn to code.
Yeah, hashtag learn to code. Hashtag coding is sexy. Hashtag I don't know. But just working outside, doing my shit, sipping on a little latte, and it's just nice, man. It's nice to be outside when the weather's nice, and you were talking about it too, like the weather's nice, and
It
and
is.
like just
Do you want that in the podcast?
probably not.
You know what?
What's so crazy about saying I like looking at women?
You know what's crazy? I've been cutting it. Usually I'll cut before you say the funny thing.
Yeah.
But I've been cutting like right at the thing. Like the last one, you said a word, a 3-letter word, a lot of times.
The F word?
No, a 3-letter word.
3-letter word. Oh.
And I cut it, but usually what I would do is I'll cut it right before you say it, so there's no idea of the word.
Yeah.
A couple times I cut it at the first syllable,
Yeah.
and it's funnier. And like you asked me about Suki. No clapping.
Oh, sorry.
You asked me about Suki, and I said I wish she could talk, and I would compromise her to have a demon voice.
Yeah.
And then do you remember what you said?
I said, would you date her?
And then I said, that's crazy. And then you said, I'm not saying have.
Sex.
And I cut it so that you can like. I hate that I have to explain the show to the person on the show. I just realized what I was doing. I just realized it right now that I am
'Cause I never
explaining
watch it.
the show to somebody on the show.
Dude, you know what's so funny? Speaking
This
of that,
sucks.
the other day I went to, I don't know, sometimes like my favorite part of my week, genuinely, is when you send me clips from the podcast.
Yes.
And it's always so fun and funny.
Because you
And
don't watch.
The other day, you sent me clips, and then I went to look up the podcast, and it's not like how I want it, but like I saw the thumbnail for Make Vibes Great Again, and I was like, that's weird. Like, what did he do to my face? Like, it's another person.
You weren't even on that episode.
I wasn't on the episode, and I'm like, that's weird. I don't do anything concerning the show. I just show up.
Yeah, well.
I'm just here for the vibes. Make Vibes Great Again.
And I did realize this was not on purpose, but we had 2 Trump titles back to back. Make Vibes Great Again and You're
Oh, yeah.
Fired. That was not on purpose.
Yeah.
It just happened. It just happened. I don't control the edit. I'm the only one that controls the edit.
Fuck, what were we just talking about? Oh, you got to make sure you bleep out like the name of my former company.
Why? You don't work there anymore.
Yeah, but it probably is. It's probably not good.
I'm going to keep it.
Fuck, I can't do anything to stop you.
You know what's funny? You're worried about it until you leave. You'll forget it.
Yeah.
You'll forget I even said it. I'll cut it. Don't worry.
I don't care.
But-
No, but the weather's so nice, and I want this on the podcast. The weather's nice, and just women are looking good. And it's nice to look at women, and that's fine. You know, like maybe this shouldn't be in the podcast. I'm always worried. There's like a little voice in the back of my head. It's like a little liberal, like, oh, like don't objectify women. It's like, what does that even mean? Like just looking at women and thinking, wow, she's hot. That's objectifying her.
I have a voice in my head when you talk as well.
Yeah.
But it's a newscaster reporting on a story, and it cuts to clips of this show. And it scares me.
You know, it's funny because even Maddie, my darling wife, was like, oh, like the weather was so nice. And what did she say? She was like, oh, like maybe I said like, oh, like all the people are out.
Stretching as you talk.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah, okay. Maybe she was like, oh, everybody's out. Like, and don't know. One of us was like, oh yeah, like I think she said like, oh, all the girls were out, and I was like, yep. And she was like, I'm sure you hated that. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Other women are disgusting to me.
That's crazy.
And she was like, summer started when all the girls were out in their bikini tops. They were out.
I was actually thinking about Maddie yesterday because I was at Lowe's. I'm leaving all that in.
Okay.
I was at Lowe's and I needed storage bins.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about you moving, and I also had to buy garbage bags.
Yeah.
And I was going to send you a picture of the garbage bags and say, do you need these for moving? Because why would anybody need bags for moving, Maddie? That made me laugh. That was one of those things that was like funny after the fact.
Yeah.
I'm just like, bags? Really? You need bags for moving?
Yeah.
Is that battery die? No, we're good. I love it though, dude. I'm having a great time.
You love the spring weather?
I'm not really a big spring guy, but I love I love like nice mornings.
Yeah.
Like that's real nice. Like if you can get some shit done and the weather's like nice and you're done with whatever task you had at like 10:28, dude, that feels so good. I love that. It's so nice. But then it gets hot, then it gets sticky, then you don't want to go outside. You know when you look outside and you could just see the hot? I hate that. That's the worst. But I'm really jealous of you that you're just chilling right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not jealous today. Tomorrow when I wake up, I will be jealous of you.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be nice. And
No, it's really nice.
How do you decide what to do? You just
kind of just vibe, brother.
How long were you working at the cafe yesterday?
Like an hour.
And it was late.
Yeah, because my mom had asked me
that's right. Yeah.
come over and help her with something, and it took like fucking forever. I was there for like 2.5 hours.
Did she know you didn't have a job?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
My dad still doesn't know, though. I just haven't had a chance to talk to him. It's only been like a week and a half.
No, I'm not being funny. Is he at work right now?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't call him.
Oh, like...
Can we call him right now on the podcast?
He might be at lunch. I don't want to do it because it's just like... it's going to be like a whole thing.
Yeah.
But...
Why didn't you tell him? You said you were talking to him.
Yeah, but when did I say I was talking to him?
When we were talking about bushes.
Oh, yeah. I don't know that. It's crazy.
You brought it up, dude.
I don't remember. That might have been like right before I got laid off or something. But like, it's only been like maybe 2 weeks, and I guess I haven't talked to him in 2 weeks. That makes me sad.
Damn.
Yeah.
It also means he doesn't listen to the podcast anymore.
Yeah. No, I don't think he does. I don't think he keeps up with that. That's okay.
Was
though.
it us or?
Are we the reason he stopped listening?
Yeah, like did he hear something he didn't like?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. He hasn't mentioned it, but I think he's just like.
But your mom didn't know you were moving?
Yeah. She, I don't know. She had gotten confused. I think she's,
Can we call both of your
getting older.
divorced parents on a 3-way call and then you hang up and just let them? If you connect people, would their call still be going?
I have no idea.
Can we try that?
We're not doing that.
Oh, why? You might get your family back.
They don't need to talk.
Yeah.
Also, they're both happily, with other people. Like, they're good.
Okay.
I don't have any Parent Trap fantasies.
Okay.
You ever seen Parent Trap?
I have.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I used to love that movie as a kid.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so crazy. Like they're they're twins and but it's just her playing the same.
That's what you have to tell employers.
What?
You have to be like what's another version of Brady? You have to be like Grady Neal.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if they look up the podcast, that's your
right. That's
right now you're Brady Neal on the, you're Grady Neal on
yeah.
And then like when they get hired and you have to give them your ID. My brother took my wallet this morning. We're twins, so all of our stuff is the same, We have the same wallets. This is Brady's wallet. I'm Grady. Or
not a bad idea.
Or actually that's way too complicated. On your resume, type your name wrong. Yeah, because it's not far. You just mistyped it. And then when you're sitting in at the interview, because they're going to look you up before they bring you in for an interview.
Yeah.
Right? So when you get the interview, they would have had looked you up already.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, wait, I found a Brady and it looks like him, but I don't his resume says Grady." You sit down and you're like, "I'm such an idiot, guys. I'm so sorry. I typed it wrong.
I really pulled a boner here. I really fucked the pooch. I'm sorry."
And if they want to interview you, they most likely want to, You're
Right.
being considered.
Yeah.
And then they're not going to go back and Google you.
I think honesty is the best policy, and I should just be like, hey, mind your fucking business. Like,
Well, that's not being honest. That's telling them to mind their business.
well, no, I'm copying to having a podcast, and I'm like, yeah, like,
Would you actively tell an employer, like, hey, I have a podcast?
I wouldn't volunteer it, but if they brought it up, I'd be like, yeah, I have a podcast. It shouldn't affect like my job. I won't mention where I work, and like, why should that be a problem?
What would you rather? Would you rather a partner know you have an STD or a job know you have a podcast? What's worse?
That's crazy.
Because 2024, they're equally as bad.
Yeah. Probably the partner with the STD.
But one is like a livelihood,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's my livelihood. I got to get my paper.
So you got to tell them, you got to be upfront with them.
No, I'm saying I'd rather my partner know that I have an STD.
Oh, then your job know you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got you. We were saying the same thing, different ways. That's
Yeah.
okay. No, that's good for you. Have you looked into the market? My grandpa
No.
called me and he was giving me all these options for you, and I said,
Oh.
I love you. He's not worried. I'm not worried. I said, I don't know what he wants to do, and I got to be honest, I don't give a rat's ass.
So true. Hey, shout out Gary. I appreciate the help, man, but I'm not looking, brother. I'm not worried. I'm going to get down to my last like $200 and then I'm going to panic.
Call your dad, and then you're going to be good for another 8 months.
Right now I'm chilling, brother.
Yeah, he had a lot of things like lined up for you, and I was like,
Yeah?
you know something?
Oh, I'd love to know.
I don't.
Ah,
It wasn't. I told him the town you're moving to,
yeah.
and then he was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Yeah, that's more than 2 minutes. He's not gonna want to do that." It's,
Fuck you. I'm willing to drive, just not crazy. Like,
what's crazy?
one
One way. What's crazy?
way,
Yeah.
I'd say like personally, like probably 40 minutes is my limit.
That's high. That's higher than I thought you would have said.
Yeah. And even that I don't really love, but I'm trying to be like semi-realistic.
Okay.
You know.
Well, one of them, the hours was 1 to 9.
Nope.
Yeah. I already knew that because I would never do that. That's horrible.
Yeah.
But
No, I'm seeing some jobs. I'll like get excited because I'll get an email like, "Oh, such and such a company thinks you'll be a great fit." It's like an automated Indeed thing.
Yeah.
But then I go look at it and it's third shift from like
Wow.
12 p.m. to 8 a.m. And I'm like, no, I want to have a life and I want to
Yeah.
see my girlfriend.
yeah, I have a third shift at where I work, and those people are fucking
Miserable.
trolls, dude. They're not right.
I think it's like statistically proven that like working night shifts is like bad for your health.
I can imagine because
Yeah.
it's your cicada rhythm, right? It fucks you up.
Yeah, your cicada rhythm. Hey, I think those bastards are about to come back out every 27 years, right?
17, right? It's 17.
Circadian rhythm.
I know what I said.
Yeah. Maybe it's 17. Maybe Pennywise is every 27.
Confusing cicadas and Pennywise is nuts, dude. How often do cicadas?
And then look up Pennywise because we
Come
need
out.
to know.
Generally, a 13-year brood emerges in the same year as a 17-year brood. So every 5 to 6 years. Brood? Am I saying that word right?
Brood.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like batch.
Okay. How often does Pennywise come back? 27.
There we go.
So now we need to make a chart on when we're going to have Pennywise and cicadas. Because that is the year I'm staying inside.
Pennywise will come and get you. It doesn't matter. Luckily, as long as you're not in Derry, Maine,
That's it?
the town of Derry in the state of Maine, then you're good.
That's the only place that he comes out?
Yeah.
Huh.
Pretty sure.
Oh, and it's a fictional place, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah. Mike.
Why
is
is
back.
Why is it at night I'm afraid of stuff like this? Like right now, remember the last time we really talked about ghosts on here, we were drunk.
Yeah.
This is years and years and years ago. But like, I would not want to be talking about Pennywise if we were doing this on a Saturday at like 10 o'clock. I would be petrified. Mostly too because you would leave.
Yeah.
And I would be packing up by myself.
Yeah.
But like right now, dude.
Bring on the demons.
Bring them on, dude. Yeah, why is there's got to be some sort of
because it's nighttime and you got to walk to your car.
I know, but like why? Well, I shouldn't. I was gonna provoke the spiritual world, but I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that just because later I'll be thinking about it and I'll scare.
Ooh, the spirits are gonna get us.
I would scare myself. I would scare myself later if I said it now.
Yeah,
but.
Because you'll be editing at night and you'll be looking over your shoulder.
Yeah. And it'd be just Suki clawing the shit out of me. You know what's fun about this podcast? We're talking about Pennywise and cicadas, and before we talked about police reform. We cover it all, baby. And I don't know if all of what we said before will be in the podcast still.
Yeah.
Because thinking back about it, some things that I said, not even about that stuff, but just in general, probably not great. But
yeah. And probably the stuff I said about like women in bikini tops, probably like
a lot of that will get cut out too.
Crazy.
But you know, you live and you learn. I don't know. Do you want that in?
No.
Okay. I don't know what's worse, saying stuff and cutting it because then there's like an implication that you said something bad, or just letting it fly and just apologizing if you have to.
Letting it fly and apologizing for sure.
So cutting it is worse.
No, cutting it is better. Because I could just deny. And
I feel like today you're not listening to a single thing I've said.
Oh!
Because earlier I said something too, and then you were saying the thing backwards to me. I said, exactly, because you're not freaking listening. I said, what's worse? Cutting it and having the implication of it being there that you did say something crazy?
Uh-huh.
Or saying it and apologizing.
Yeah.
And you said saying it and apologizing is better. Oh, my question was what was worse?
Oh, play the tape back.
Don't wag your finger. Don't
you literally just said, hey,
don't wag your finger.
Asshole, stop.
You can't talk to me like you talk to women.
Stop moving your fucking arm.
You can't talk to me like...
I don't talk to women disrespectfully, so retract that statement. Okay? You just said which one is worse, and then admitted that I said the apologizing is worse, implying that the cutting it is better. Your fucking brains are liquid because of the Red Bull.
No.
I don't care how consistent it is.
Mix your coffee up.
Your organs.
Mix your coffee up.
Mix your coffee up.
You can't say that. That's a slur, dude.
That's not a slur.
You can't say that. You know what's funny?
What?
I can cut that and no one will know what you said and it'll sound like a slur. I can cut that too. When you say my address, I dub it with my voice and say your address. I could soon stop bleeping your address because I won't know it.
Yeah.
So I could just say your old address.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I was right and you're objectively wrong. But cutting it is better because then I could just deny whatever I said.
That's true.
I could be like, oh, I didn't say anything bad at all. He's just trying to make me look crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
I love your shirt so much.
Thanks, dude.
I want it.
You want it?
No.
Oh. Where would you wear this? To the cafe?
The rodeo? Yeah, I would love it.
Do you want to go to the rodeo? The longest running rodeo in America. Do you know where it is?
I feel like we looked this up before. I don't know.
New Jersey.
Really?
Yep. You want to go?
That's insane.
Actually,
let's go.
Not too far from where you're going to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is it at fucking
It's in Columbus.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. Ohio?
New Jersey. You want to go? I'd love to go to the rodeo.
I'd love to go. Is there are there like animal cruelty issues? Do I have to be like?
I don't know anything about the rodeo.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
I mean, they tie something to the bull's cock and balls?
Do they?
I think that's why it's bucking like crazy because it has like a.
I thought it just doesn't like people on it.
No, I think it has a cock ring on.
Wow, so me and the bull are like the same?
Oh, that's crazy.
You see me bucking this whole time?
Why do rodeo bulls buck? Let's see.
I think the battery's running out.
Yeah, the battery's running out. This has been the Z-Listers podcast. Thanks for listening. Bull riding, is it good? Find out in the next episode.
Cock rings are good.
Bye.
Bye.